Now is it working? Hey, I think we're working. It appears. Do we have sound? Okay, that was odd. Can you hear me? Is there sound?
Can you hear me? Is there sound?
There is. Okay.
Can you hear me? Is there sound?
There is. Stop it.
Can you hear me? Is there sound? There is. Stop it.
There you are. Wow, that was crazy. Hey, Jeff, what's up? What's up? What's up? Okay. I got this crazy camera angle because I don't know. I don't have a good reason. So let's do this. All right. So the plan is we're going to clean this mess and kind of just do a chat and a QA and whatever while that's happening. And I actually just had a very good example of why I need to do this just happen. So while I was getting ready, just waiting for 10 or 15 minutes to go by, I was working on the 109, doing the radiators. And as you can see, there's only one on there. And there's only one on there because somewhere in the last 10 minutes, that thing disappeared from the face of the earth right here on my desk. On this desk. So let me show you what I'm dealing with. So this is actually supposed to be my computer desk, but it's kind of gotten taken over with the 109 because the actual work desk over here is covered with P47s and B29 parts and various other things. So it's not very organized and whatnot right now. And like I just said, I somehow just had the radiator cover just poof and disappear. And I'm sure it's here somewhere and I will find it. But so yeah, that's the plan. So while I'm perusing through my nightmare of a mess here and cleaning things up, we'll just chat about stuff. Right. So with that in mind, so we just saw the workbenches and stuff. Let's a lot of you have already seen this, but so here's my supply shelves here. And then over here is the reference library. And then I have, let's see here. My display case is over here. All right. And this wall, on the other side of this wall is my utility room, which is where the old workshop was. And then here's this mess that part of this is because that black curtain is hiding the underneath of the stairwell, and that's where we keep like all the Christmas decorations and stuff. And as you can see, the curtain didn't get put back how it should have when the Christmas decorations got taken out. And then we have this door here to the next room that is actually a weight room. And that's how you actually get to this utility room on the other side here. Because there's a door in there. So you go through this door, and then there's another door that goes in the other room. So there's basically 3 rooms down here in the basement. None of that really matters. But now you know. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start just picking stuff up. And while I'm doing that, we can yap a little bit. Man, I don't have any idea where that thing went. And now if I'm not careful, I'm going to lose one of the actual radiators itself. So, I've got, what did I get done this year? Not much. I actually got done more than I thought I got done. I didn't honestly think that I finished anything. And I ended up finishing 4 things. And it's pretty typical for me not to think that I finished anything. That's not abnormal for me to not think that I finished something. So I'm really confused as to where that thing went. It's not a small piece, right? I mean, it's not a small piece. Where the heck did it go? Oh well. It will turn up here while we're cleaning up, I'm sure. It's amazing how things just poof and they're gone. And they're gone. And I'll step on it and be like crunch, and that'll be the end of that. All right, so best way to go about this is to just go about it, right? And so that's exactly what we're going to do here. So we're just going to go about it bit by bit. Why is that there? I keep thinking that thing is stuck to my shirt or something, but it's not. Wow, that's just crazy. Just crazy, crazy, crazy. Clean up my little tray here. I'm totally flabbergasted as to where that thing went. I mean, like I said, it's not small. One thing with this Edward kit, I like it. It's a good kit so far. I do find it interesting. To me, it bears an uncanny resemblance to the ICM kit. And that's interesting to me because, you know what, the ICM kit's, 10 years old or maybe more now? And the ICM kit was, state of the art at the time it came out, and it was the bomb, so to speak. And so, and I realize that, Edward does rebox other people's stuff, so that's fine. That's not a surprise. But I just thought it was interesting that this kit looks so much like the ICM kit, at least to me. And that doesn't mean anything. I don't have superpowers or anything. I could be totally off base, but it does resemble the ICM kit a bit. I know this isn't very exciting. It's going to be exciting if I find this part. I can't believe that it's just up and disappeared like that in like this much space. I mean, I can believe it because I've seen it happen a million times, right? But just in this space, I've seen it happen a whole bunch. Okay, get rid of that. Get that out of the way. We'll get these things out of the way. A big part of my problem is I just have too much stuff. Plain and simple. There's just too much stuff. And like for instance, where do I put this? Well, for right now, I'm going to put it right here. Okay. And camera gear. Can go right there for right now. All right. And we can continue dragging all this stuff out from under this desk. This floor is in serious need of a mopping, that's for sure. All right. I still have no idea where this part went. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. All right. Now the thing is you're sitting here and you're like, okay, do I put this stuff right directly into the can? Well, you can't really do that. Hey, it's Brett. So what I have to do is I kind of have to sift through it before I put it in the trash bag. Which seems, still seems ludicrous because it's not a small part. It's not a small part. But where did it go? What am I looking for? I want a piece of paper. There we go. Let's see. Nope. Yes, he is. If you haven't seen, this is the new Edward 109 Weekend Edition Kit Instruction Manual. And this thing is really nice. It's like, holy cow, how much money did you spend on this instruction sheet, Edward? All right, let's see. It's definitely not here. All right. So, we'll move on. All right. Why? Because we have to. Otherwise, this is never going to get done. Now, for those of you that are going, man, this is super boring. Well, you're right. It is right this second. But it's going to get exciting for some of you because I'm going to do some things that some of you are going to find blasphemous, probably. And we'll get to that in a minute here. But holy cow. I am completely lost as to where that thing went. All right, maybe, just maybe. I'm looking for the wrong thing. Just maybe. No, I'm not. I-11. It's here somewhere. We'll find it. I guess. I don't know. Is it? I never saw the Truman Show. Never saw it. Went and saw The King's Man last night. I liked it. I thought it was interesting, and I thought it was. I like when they at least hint at history. You know, when they're doing stuff, spy movies or whatever you want to call them, like that. So I'm not going to spoil the movie, but like I said, it was interesting. It was good. All right, where's my sanding stuff? Over here, over here. All right. So, next thing we're going to do, I'm going to start at the stuff that's closest to me. That's what I'm going to do. So I got to put this. See this? This is the problem. As I get this out to look at, I need to look at one picture in it, and I look at it, and instead of putting it back, I just left it sitting over there. And now I have to remember where it goes. Right? That's a big part of the problem. That's like, just put it back when you're done with it. Okay. So there's that. And I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to take this stuff and I'm going to put it in the box. I'm going to put the lid on it. I'm just looking to see if I put that part back in the box. That would be really interesting. Anyway, I didn't. There are so many extra parts in this kit. Different scoops. It's crazy. It's crazy how much extra stuff is in here. All right, and I'm going to set that up here for right now. Here I have my mirror that I use for sanding things flush and cutting, things that need a sharp line. Am I going to do a year-end review video? I don't have a whole lot to review. I could. It would be very short. I was sitting here trying to think again what I finished, and it's that I finished the Coral Sea, the Tamiya P38, the Gundam guy right there, and something else. Hey, Clayton, how are you? Happy New Year. I can't remember what the fourth one is right now that I finished. I'd have to go back and look. What was it? It was... Was it that 190? I don't remember. I'd have to go look. So this is always kind of a pain to find a place to put it. And I really need to find a permanent home for it. It's not short video win-win, yeah. This isn't something that you have to have, but I find it's very convenient to have when you need it. So I keep it around. Um, but as I'm dealing with now, it's always where do you keep it around because it's fragile, right? I'm going to set it over here for now. All right. So there's that. And printer that never gets used anymore. I took this off of my my desk next to my computer because you know how these things are. Yeah, fragile, that's Italian, yeah. You know how these things are. It's cheaper to buy a new printer than it is to buy ink. And I don't even like doing that because I never use it, and people in the house just, they print stuff and print stuff and print stuff, and then when they don't have a printer, they don't print stuff. They seem to get by without it just fine. So, one of those deals. Anyway. Okay, that's out of my hair for the time being. My refuse can. I wonder if that stupid thing went in this can. It could have. Oh, man, really? I don't want to sort through that right now, but I could. I guess I'm probably going to have to. Here's my Oramask 810. Just waiting for me to use it. All right, where are you going to go? This is the problem. All of this stuff, how much of it is going to get used? It's not a matter of how much is going to get used. It's a matter of where am I going to find the time to use it? Yeah, great paperweight, exactly. If I knew how to do that, Jeff, I might just do it, but I don't. No, I wouldn't. I got more important things to do. Oh, so, all right, come here. Yeah, this is out of control for sure. I started doing this a couple of weeks back, and I'm like, no, I'm going to save this for a video for New Year's just because. Why not? And part of the reason is because I'm gonna go through the shelf of doom and throw some stuff away. And I don't necessarily do that lightly, but you kind of you got to be realistic. You got to stop at some point and just be realistic and realize I'm not gonna finish this. I'm not. And move on and move on. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with chalking a build up to experience and moving on to the next thing. In my opinion, I know a lot of people would be like, think that's sacrilegious or whatever, but in my opinion, that it's okay to do that. It's okay to just call it quits, and move on. Okay, I'm really starting to get concerned now that thing is completely and totally gone. Wow. I'm gonna have to go through this trash can. I haven't stepped on it, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I haven't stepped on it. All right, let me get a piece of paper. Ugh. This stuff makes a really good scoop. How ironic that I'm looking for a scoop with a scoop. Okay. Now, like I was saying, it's okay to enjoy being 62 years old and not caring anymore. Did you check under the keyboard and behind the monitor? I didn't, Jeff. I didn't. Hey, Ken. Happy New Year. All that good stuff. I'm checking behind the keyboard now, and I don't see it. Well, it will show up. It will show up. Somewhere, somehow. Yeah, I was going to do this much later tonight, but I found parts in my shoe. Yeah, I'm sure. I was going to do this much later, but we got invited to a shindig that it appears we're going to, so I had to do this earlier. But and that's okay. That's not a problem. But as I was saying before, the biggest problem I have is I have way too many kids going, and which means I have stuff that takes up way more space. Takes up way too much space. This is why Aurora molded their kits in such god-awful colors. So us kids could find the stuff when we dropped it. Right? Oh, man. I don't know if you guys have heard about that big fire they got going over on the Front Range. But, man, that is not... I know a few people that are over kind of close to there, but that is not a good thing. Not at all. You're watching from somewhere over near there. I hope everything's fine. Like I just said, everybody that I know is fine. And doing well, so that's good. Maybe digging through trash cans. All right, where are we at here? Wow. Your sister, where does she live? My P-47 bills? They are right there. They're right there. And they are Arvada. North Arvada is close, but it's not, well, it's close enough, but they're not an evacuation zone. But that's where most of my family and friends are, is up in that area. They're just outside the zone, basically. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, so the P-47. So where we're at is I have I bought this Cameo 4 about 3 months ago, and I haven't actually used it yet. But now that I got the Aura mask and I've got some files, and I just part of the issue was okay. I'm going to geek out on computers for a little bit here, um, just to explain this. So sorry if I lose you, but um, so I'm a Linux user. I'm not. I don't. I'm not a Windows or a Mac user. Um, I've been a Windows user in the past for for necessity's sake because I was in the business, but um, and I can't deal with Mac at all. I don't really I don't really like their interface, the way their hardware interfaces specifically, and I don't. Um, I think they're a terrible company, but that's a whole different discussion. But anyway, um, so a big part of the issue that I was having was I could not get so the Cameo 4, the software that they give you, that Silhouette gives you for that, runs on Windows. Big surprise, right? This isn't anything new to to us to us Linux people. But anyway, um, so I took so what I do is I run Windows and other things in a virtual machine, which is basically you're running another computer as a software as a piece of software on the computer that you have. That makes sense. So I've got Linux and then I've got Windows running in a window on Linux. If that makes sense. Anyway, I could not. I was having trouble getting the Cameo to talk to the Windows instance that I had, and life being the way it is, and you're working, and you got kids, and you're working on 14 other things. You got all these different projects, putting a new roof on the house, and all of this stuff. You get a few minutes here and there to work on the stuff, and you end up beating your head on a wall. Anyway, I finally got that working last night. And yes, it was something dumb that took like 2 minutes. Once I found somebody that actually had the right piece of knowledge, it took a matter of minutes and it was fixed and it works now. So bottom line is now I can cut masks. Um, I haven't done it yet, but now I've got the Windows loaded. It's talking to the Cameo 4. I've got the software loaded. Um, so everything is in place for me to be able to do that, which is what I need for these P47s. I'm going to do some RAF. I'm going to do some RAF ones, and I'm not sure what the National Metal one is going to be, but I'm going to paint the markings on them, and so that's a big thing for me. I'm not really chasing the 3D printing thing, mainly because I don't want to deal with the learning curve. For me, that's a huge investment of time that I just don't have right now. The vinyl cutter stuff and whatnot, that's not much of a jump for me from just doing stuff that I've done in the past. So that's why I'm messing with that and not getting a 3D printer. Um, hey Charlie, how are you? Um, so so there's that. It's so what was I talking about? Oh, the P47s. So that's part of the reason they've been sitting here since May. Is I was fighting with the Cameo 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there, and like I said, I solved that problem last night. So there's that. So I can move forward, and um, there really it's just a matter. Um, of finishing the paint is really where they're at. That's and doing the markings. So yeah. Yes, Happy New Year, Charlie. Happy New Year to you. How's your granddaughter? I hope she's good. Um, so, oh, Jeff's gonna get his. Yeah, Jeff got a 3D printer. Ooh. Um, we'll trade. We'll trade. I'll send you stencils and you send me 3D stuff. Oh, but anyway, where was I? Yeah, um, so that's what's going on with those. And then I got sidetracked with this. This thing goes together very fast. Um, I really like this thing, and it's it. Oh, what should I say? Um, as long as you need 3D boxes. Oh, you'll figure it out, man. You'll figure it out. You'll be a whiz in no time. Um, so I totally lost my train of thought. That's okay. That's okay. Oh, I was going to talk about this. Oh, firewood. I don't miss doing that. Um, this stuff is really. Brett and I did a chatterbox about this. Really, when we were talking about which one was it? Was it the satisfaction one? And we've talked about it in various ways. I think we talked about it when getting kids into the hobby, about about what individual people are looking for in a kit, and what's important to them, and what you can and can't appreciate. And this goes together really fast and really easily. Um, and I appreciate it for that a lot. This is it's I don't want to say it's more enjoyable, but it's enjoyable in a different way than say um, like this B29, which isn't enjoyable at all for me right now, which is why I'm not working on it. Right. Um, so this is on a different level than something like that B29 or the monogram B26 or whatever. Something that you got to put a heck of a lot more work into just to get something that looks halfway decent, um, than you do something like this, because this is pretty much effortless. The hardest thing about these types of kits is the cleanup on the parts. Really, is trimming it off the sprue and getting the cleanup right so the parts mate together um, cleanly. And if you can do that, I mean, this stuff is a cakewalk. Um, painting is painting, and um, whether the kit's a bear to get together or not or whatever, your painting is is not going to be too much different either way, as far as how the kit itself went together. So anyway, that so yeah, I like this 109 kit. I do. Um, what do I think about the new P47 kit? Well, I'm glad you asked, Ken. I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited because it's a C model, and um, Wait, no, that's not. That's the Dora Wings. There's two. There's the mini art. That's like a D30 or something, right? With and they've got the two different versions, one with all the internals and one without. Yeah, and then there's was it the Dora Wings that's doing the C model? I'm excited about the C model. Um, as far as another bubble top, I'm pretty happy with the Tamiya kit. Honestly, I'm kind of getting to the end of my road on the P47s, and it's not that it's not the end my end of the road. It's not the end of the road for my um, interest in the P47, but I don't know how many more of them I can build. It's there's other things I want to do, and I'm actually trying to get a table at the show in Denver so that I can off most of my stash because I'm um, I'm being realistic in that I want to do certain things, and one of which is I have that Airfix, the 124 Stuka that I want that I want to do, and it just so happens that Red Fox Studios is getting ready to do cockpit placards, their resin or whatever it is they do for that kit. Um, Actually, it's for their sets for the trumpeter kit, but knowing trumpeter, they probably copied the Airfix kit anyway. so, um, so yeah, so I'm planning on um, getting that cockpit set, so I want to get that done. Um, I'm really struggling with this B29. It's just not. I'm not enjoying it. Every time I look at it, I just don't want to look at it. And there's a part of me that's just you got to finish this, but then there's a part of me where it's like I just I'm not. It's not fun, you know. Um, and it's kind of this argument I'm having with myself because it's once it's done and completed, am I gonna be happy with it and excited that it's done? Yeah, yeah, I have no doubt. Um, but I'm really not excited at all on getting to that point. Honestly, Ken, if I hadn't got all the PE for it and started down that path, I would have been a lot happier. And because I would have just put it together and moved on, and now I'm gonna finish the interior, but I've got the exterior set, and it's like, well, you start putting that stuff on, and then you start looking at the turbocharger exhaust, and you start looking at all these other things, and it's like, you start upgrading one thing, and you kind of locks you into doing other stuff, and example, I'll give you a really good example. This is a really good analogy because um, I had a model railroad 25 years ago or whatever. Anyway, not big, 4x8, whatever. But that those guys, a lot of those layouts take decades and decades and decades to build. And um, I remember talking to one of the old guys one time, and he made a very good point. He was because at the time it was the '90s, and the the really detailed stuff was just starting to come out, like the Intermountain Railway cars, and and all of this stuff. Up until then, we had the old blue box of Thurn stuff and whatnot, but DCC was coming in to vogue, and all this other stuff, all this detail, kind of like we've seen, in the last 10 years in scale modeling. Anyway, um, so we were talking about that, and I was buying. I think I was at the shop buying a box car, a pre-finished box car, and we had some conversation. Anyway, the guy made a comment, and his comment was, whatever we were talking about, his comment was, I really like that stuff, but the minute I buy one of those and I put it on my layout, it's going to make everything else look dated because there's nothing else on my layout that's that detailed. And it was like, wow, that totally makes sense. The minute I go and I add this object to my layout that is, a step above what's there. Not saying that what there is bad, but that's more detailed or steps it up. Um, you basically destroy the illusion that it's a congruent world or whatever. And so anyway, so I'm kind of dealing with that in my head with the B29. Is okay. Well, where do you stop? Once you start detailing and adding all this stuff, where do you stop? Um, and I'm, um, if you've seen the Chatterbox episodes and the back and forth between you and I, or between Brett and I, you probably come away. I would think. I think it's pretty clear that him and I both are kind of going back down the path of um, the simplicity and just being happy with the kit and not dealing with all that. Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. Exactly, it is. It's a rabbit hole, and and just being okay with what's there. I used to want to do the monogram B17 again. It's supposed to be the next accurate now, but lots of elbow grease and work. Yeah, that is a rather slightly less accurate kit that goes together without a bunch of aftermarket needed and filler and sanding. Right, right. To a point. To a point. Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Um, that B17 kit is not bad. It's not. I'm not trying to convince you to build one, but I'm just saying it's really the B17 is pretty good. Um, it's like nowadays Airfix gets all kinds of grief, which I don't understand. But I mean, I do with their old stuff, their old bag kits and whatnot. But um, some of that old stuff, that old Stuka kit, I mean, I built that when I was 10 or 11 years old. That is not a bad kit. That is not a bad kit. It's not. If the engine isn't great, but it's a product of its time, the cockpit is pretty darn good. Um, it's trying to think of what else. I think my brother had the Spitfire and the Mustang. Anyway, the only one that I ever built was the Stuka, and like I said, I have another one. I'm going to build it again, but they cost a ton if you can find it. What the B17 does, because I've got an original issue, and I've got the Pro Modeler G with the Cheyenne turret conversion. I know that one's a little expensive. And I've got all the B24s and all that stuff. Anyway, They're worth money. Then I got the Revell F, B17F. Um, that one I haven't built. I don't know, but and I haven't ever done the B24, even though I have it. I've done the B25H. I've got the H, and I've got the J glass nose, and I've got the J gun nose. I think the Pro model gun nose. Anyway, the V25, the H isn't bad either. That I mean, I built that when I was a kid, and that went together really good. So it's what were we talking about? Test fitting. Test fitting is kind of is a big deal on certain things, and not so much anymore as we've had a discussion, but um, something like this, you can just clean the parts up and put it together. And there's not a whole lot of test fitting here. There was on this top cowl piece, and I had to play with that a little bit. But other than that, no, it all goes together just fine. Accurate Manager CD. I had the B kit. I sold it because I wanted the C kit because I wanted to do a desert. I wanted to do a 12th Air Force one. Accurate Miniatures kits are good. They got a lot of stuff inside. I mean, you talk about stuff inside you're not going to see. that's probably true of that one, for sure. Anyway, I sat down and I quit cleaning. You see how that goes? Yeah. Anyway, man, I have no idea where this radiator went. No idea. But yeah. So it's been a crazy year. Crazy year. Actually, I don't know. We had a pretty good year. Well, I did. My wife, maybe not so much. My wife has what am I thinking? My wife is, as surprising to me as this is, but I understand, is seriously considering leaving the teaching profession after this year because it's just gotten so ridiculously stupid. and it's not it's just the system and how things have been and whoa and whatnot. So wow, these tweezers, the tips are so thin on them. Every time I drop them, they bend. They need to be cleaned anyway. So where was I? So anyway, yeah. So I'm just like I said, I got the four done this year, and I don't know. I don't remember did I finalize that fourth one? Did I actually figure out what it was? I don't remember now. But I ended up with quite a bit of new stuff. So let me seal this bag, get it out of here, and while I look at this new stuff, and I don't know what I'm going to do about that part. I might have to use some of my basic modeling skills and scratch build another one, huh? Ooh. Can I say that word? Can we talk? It's not a word, it's a phrase. Anyway, so with that in mind, let me grab this. I'm not even sure. What is this? Holy cow. Don't you love it when you find a box you have no idea? I think that's my grandmother's brother. Wow. This must be some of my old. It is. It's my old family stuff. Wow. What is this doing here? Huh. Sorry. Sidetrack. Oh. Photo albums. Okay. All right. Hang on a second. Let me get rid of this real quick. Let me get rid of this real quick. Okay. Now, yeah, Paul Budsig. I wouldn't say that's basic. Paul's a little bit more than basic, I would think. All right. Pull it back up. I'm sorry, I wasn't kidding when I said it was an absolute disaster in here. And it just happens because, like I said, something doesn't get put away, and it's just one thing after another. That's that stuff. That's that stuff. Where is? Maybe I put it away. That's tree stuff. Bag. I'm gonna need that. Whoops. Okay. Hang on. I had. Oh, it's right here. I briefly mentioned these at one point, but let me get this here. Still no scoop. There's no scoop. There's no scoop, Captain. So I got. These are pretty cool. I got this. So somebody on the IPMS forums advertised that, hey, they had this box of soldiers that they didn't know what to do with, and they didn't want them. I'm assuming they got them out of a, probably bought a collection or something and got them. Anyway, and it's Dave Kopielski. Is that how you say your name, Dave? Your last name? I'm sorry if I got it wrong. But anyway, here's his little card, but he there's like, somebody wants to pay postage, you can have these. And see you, Charlie. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take them because I want to get into figures, as we talked about before. And what he sent me was this massive box of metal figures. And they're like Revolutionary War and Civil War. And I don't know. I have one person I'm going to contact and ask if they can tell me about them. But I think they're old Imer Risley figures or something. And, they've got like these cards in the bags. But there's a lot of stuff. And I don't. There's horses and soldiers, and they're pretty well done. They don't look. I guess they are toy soldiers, but they don't look. They're not crude castings, I guess is what I would say. They're pretty well detailed. There's some limbers and stuff, some artillery limbers and whatnot. So those are pretty cool. I got to do something with these at some point. So again, I'm just going to set that here for right now. And I still don't know where that scoop went. That's just insane. It was right here. Oh my gosh. That's why I'm doing this, right? Right. So anyway. So we got I got the one bag gone there. And I'm actually going to put it in here. Hold this one down. There'll be a counterweight there. All right. I'm back. You can relax now. Everybody relax. Brett's here. It's all good. I bet you tell that to your wife and she just rolls her eyes, right? Mine would. Oh, yeah. Never fear. Oh, man. Holy cow. I can't believe that thing's just gone. And then to top it off, I've got these two pieces here that I have no idea what they are or what they're for. Right? Did it? Hang on a second. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Look at this. I think it got broke in half. This is it, and it's in two pieces. It is. Holy cow. Do you believe that? That's it. It got snapped in half. How did that happen? Wow. I've been sitting here looking at this thing, looking at these two pieces, trying to figure out what they are because I didn't remember taking them off the sprue. And they're Wow. But here's the thing: is that is look? I mean, let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, with canopies. Oh man, tell me about it. It won't focus. Anyway, you can't. That's such a clean break. You can't tell it's not supposed to be there. That's unbelievable. Well, other than I'm looking at it with my own two eyes, but wow. Huh. Well, I feel stupid now. How in the world did that happen? Okay, well, I'm surprised that Edward didn't mold it. Yeah, you're not kidding. You're not kidding there. It's like this is the weekend edition kit. As I said, it's a good kit. It is a good kit. But yeah, no, I hear you. Wow, I can't believe that. How did I snap it though? That's an even better question. Oh well. Now I know. Should we try and put it together? Shall I tempt the demons? Speaking of demons, oh my gosh. So I was saying earlier that we went last night and saw the Kingsman, the King's Man, and they have Rasputin in there as one of the characters, and oh my gosh. Whew, that was just one bad dude, man. It's like this is over the top, over the top. I mean, those movies are supposed to be over the top, but um, yeah, I sat something on top. Yeah, I probably did. I probably sat something on top of it, but it was a pretty intense movie, um, and definitely has some political commentary as part of the script, but. Um, and that's okay with me. I mean, I'm I can deal with it, you know. But uh, now I just attempted to put the thing in the wrong spot because my fat fingers. Yeah, you definitely need tweezers to build these. There's no doubt about that. Because it's not so much that the parts are small, but the places you got to get stuff into sometimes it's just like there's no way you're doing it without tweezers because your fingers are too big to get in there. Yeah, see, I mean, this thing, boing, there it goes. Come on. Huh. They're not super clear on some of this stuff on the exact orientation. Oh, I did try. I did the cockpit color in the AK Real Colors on this. First time I've used them, and um, I like them. I like the way they went down, and I just dropped it again. What I really like is I had to go back and do some touch-ups with the brush. Well, I didn't have to, but I did. And it brushes good too. I was really quite I was really quite happy. I was really quite surprised, I guess. Happy with it and surprised. Excuse me. Okay, you. It's gonna fight. You're gonna go popping off into space again. Excuse me, again, aren't you? All right. Got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And now's the time to fold them. I'll deal with you later. Okay, the mystery of the part is solved, though. That's good. That's good. Oh wow! That's literally sitting here looking at it the whole time. What thinner did I? I used MLT. I used Mr. Color Leveling Thinner. Yeah, yeah. I had to think about that for a second. Yeah, I used Mr. Color Leveling Thinner. So, um, and it worked good. You know, it worked. It worked really good. It worked really good. But this area behind the cockpit there, that is actually brush painted. Um, that's a separate piece on this kit. You know, most 109 kits you end up with a seam down that headrest area or that fuel tank area or whatever. And on this kit, it's a separate piece that goes in there, and it. So of course I forgot to paint it when I had the airbrush loaded. So went back and brush painted it, and yeah, it went down. Really, I was surprised. I was really surprised. Um, I just finished the wheel, and I can't figure out why they molded it into three separate pieces. I think because there's different walls for some of the pieces. Um, I'd have to go back here and look, but I think if you look at the parts trees, there are some other there's like optional parts for the for the rings, isn't there? Let's see. Yeah, see, there's a bunch of different wheel well pieces. So there's different wheel well configurations. That's pretty amazing. I mean, it really is when you start looking at this thing. And there's the sprues that you're not using. There's you're basically throwing away at least one complete sprue by the time you get it all done and over with. But I mean, it's got what, four props. It's got two different canopies, two different windscreens, um, four different rudders, um, different radiator scoops, different oil cooler scoops. Um, that was a little frustrating. The oil cooler scoop, or the radiator scoop, which one, the one under the chin, whichever one that is, that was a little challenging because there's no. First of all, it was tight, so you had to do a little trimming to get it to fit. But then there's no plate under it. There is just you can't see it on this camera, but there's four little pins, one in each corner, that just kind of stick out into the void, and you're supposed to set it on those pins. That's the only thing that keeps it from dropping in the hole. So of course it drops in the hole. AC vent. I don't think air conditioning is a problem at altitude. Heat might be, but air conditioning, no, I don't. I don't think that's an issue. Oh, but yeah, I'm not getting anything done. That's all right. But so for this year, so what's the plan for this year? We're gonna do a bunch more chatterboxes, right, Brett? Um, I really I want to break that out to its own channel. I just haven't really figured out the best way to do that, and we want to be able um, to do lives, do a live like this, except have both of us on, and we need to figure out how to do that. And what else? I guess that's about it. We really, well, I shouldn't speak for Brett. I won't. I'll speak for myself. um, I really enjoy doing those. And I think not to sound like a know-it-all or whatever, but I think especially now with the podcasts and stuff and the groups and stuff that are out there and a lot of the stuff, a lot of the noise in the hobby now. We're trying to be. I don't think we're trying to be. I think we are. I think we're just a couple of normal guys, and we're just doing we're just doing what the majority of people are doing, and we're not um, following the fashion trends or we're not um, we're not trying to be relevant. We're just who we are and talking about what we like to do and really the message is that that's what you should do too and not try and mimic us or anybody else but do what you want to do, the voice of reason. Yeah. um, but so that's really our thing with that. And I've said before, that's this channel's 10 years old now, and it was dormant for a long time. But I really came back online because I just saw a lot of ridiculous stuff that I thought was ridiculous, and that was um, taking the joy out of things for people, or really for me, a lot of this getting back, doing this stuff and getting back to this was people giving bad advice, and I'm not gonna say I've never given bad advice, but I don't. Um, as a rule, I don't. My advice is vetted usually by myself, and it's not. I don't take it lightly when I tell somebody, "Oh, you can do this," or "You can do it this way," or whatever, because I recognize that there's a financial investment in this stuff, and there's and sometimes other types of investments in these models, and you don't want to send somebody down the wrong path, um, causing them a bunch of grief in one way or another, for no reason, just to make yourself feel good because you knew something. And maybe that sounds like I'm being a jerk, but I'm not. I mean, that's not my point. My point is we're just I just try to be helpful. Um, I'm only giving bad advice once. I said, "Listen to me, worst advice ever." I think you and I both tend to say, "Don't listen to me" more than anything. but but um but yeah, so that's where I came back to things, and why. And it's a confusing mess out there. It really is. When you ask for advice about something, and it's not just in modeling, it's in all kinds of things. I just went through a thing on my son's truck where he's got dual tanks, right? He's got this old Ford truck, which I love because it's all manual. It's manual transmission, manual transfer case, manual locking hubs, but it's got power windows. Whatever, Ford. but but so anyway, um, well, the fuel tank switch isn't working, and um, so basically the front tank's full of gas, but it can't use it, right? And they're not small tanks, but anyway, um, so he's been driving it off the rear tank, and he's got a completely full front tank that he can't use. Well, so we go looking for a valve, trying to figure out what's wrong with this thing, and the reason we were going looking for a valve, because I mean, it just makes sense that you would have. Not only does it just make sense that you would have a valve to switch from one tank to the other, but me being in the parts business for years and years and years and years know that that's really common. That's a common part. It's not a big, not a, not a, not an odd thing. So I'm trying to find, track down a diagram, whatever, da 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 da. Can't find one. Can't find one. Can't find one. Finally, I find a diagram of the fuel system, and it's just got the lines, and they just come together. They come from the tanks, they come together, they go to the fuel filter, and then they go to a high pressure pump into the throttle body. And I'm like, what? It's just a drawing. So I'm like, okay. Well, then I find a TSB, a technical service bulletin, where they were having a problem with one tank pushing fuel to the other tank, and then the fuel not coming out of the tank. Well, why would that be? What's up with that? Well, once you take and find all the pieces and put the puzzle together, what it is rather than have a valve, they put a low pressure pump in each tank, and they both got return lines, and then they've got and those go to a junction that connects to the line that goes to the fuel filter, into the high pressure pump, and into the throttle body. So there is no valve. When you hit that switch, it just turns one pump off and the other pump on. Well, the pumps themselves have a check valve in them to keep the one tank from pushing fuel into the other tank. Well, the check valves fail. So what happens is, if you have a bad check valve, you've got one tank that's pushing gas into the other tank until that tank is full, right? But not only is that check valve bad, but that pump's bad, so you can't pump the gas out of that tank. All right? Sounds ridiculous, but it's real life. Well, and point being is, I got a whole lot of bad advice from a whole lot of people, until I was able to piece it together and go, oh, this is what's going on. Who designed this stupid system? What's this all about? There's but it's really not that dumb. It makes sense if you think about it. Because if it was an old carbureted system where it was basically a gravity feed, then yeah, you don't have to have, but the valve makes more sense. But with the fuel injected system, the having the separate pumps, I get it. For it. I'm not giving you a hard time. Anyway, Ugh. um, so yeah, there's that, and then the thing that I was explaining earlier about the computer, that's another thing where I got a whole bunch of misdirection from a whole lot of other people, and then I get one guy that's like, "Oh no, it's just a permissions thing. This is all you got to do," and I did that, and it was fixed, and it's like, really, how many months I've been thinking with this because all these people told me you need to do this, you need to do that, you need this driver, blah blah blah, and all of this other stuff, none of which worked. So anyway, all of that to say that's why we're doing this. That's why we do this, or that's why I do this anyway. Um, because that stuff drives me crazy, and I don't think that's a good thing. 92 F-150, it's changing one out. Yeah, my son's is a 91. It's a 91 F-150, so it's the same truck. Yep. Yeah, take the bed off. It's easier. Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do, to be honest, but it's just silly. It's just like I said, I got all kinds of bad advice from. Oh, you got this valve, and and like I said, I it made sense to me because yeah, I've seen that 100 times, and then all of a sudden, no, there's no valve. Went through two engines. Wow. No, it's got good old 302 in this one, and it just keeps on running. I don't know how many miles are on it. It's an old farm truck. The bed's about rusted off. Um, it runs great. It drives great. It's when he gets tired of it, I'm gonna buy it from him. When he gets tired of putting gas in it, when he's buying it, I'm like, I hope you know this is gonna eat you out of house now with gas. But he's 17, and you know how it is. You know how it is. I do it for the fame. How's that working out for you? You like go down to the local McDonald's and they give you free food. Oh my gosh, Ken, that's hilarious. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the fact that uh, YouTube held that last comment of yours, and I imagine because of the word tranny. Mine was 6 cylinder with a 5 speed manual. Yeah, my son's a 302 with the 5 speed manual, with the manual transfer case and the manual hubs. And anyway, I hired a fan mail assistant. Put all them grandkids to work. That's what you should do. They can be your assistants. Is that ridiculous? They would hold it because of that. I mean, I get it. I guess. Anyway, so yeah, so for this year, obviously I'm gonna finish these P47s. I'm gonna finish this 109. Um, I'd like to say that I'm gonna work on the B29, but I don't know. I just don't know. It doesn't excite me at all anymore. Um, so I'm at least giving them until 5 years old. But and with working 40 hours a week, and honestly, I mean, I'm beat. I'm physically exhausted when I get home from work, which is fine. I'm not complaining at all. Um, I like my job, but um, I don't always get down here. Um, like I should every day. Um, Typically, if I can get myself down the stairs, I'm okay once I get down here. But some days it's just I get home, I sit down, and it's like I'm done. I'm not getting out of this chair until I go to bed. But yeah, so um, but I would like to start that Stuka. I've also got the what was it? I got that 30-second Mustang. Oh, I know what. You know what? One thing that I am definitely looking forward to, and I'm am I going to pull the trigger on it? I don't know. I've been pretty good. I bought. I'm not going to say I haven't bought anything this year because I have, but I can very easily walk into a shop and walk out with nothing. I can just as easily walk out with something, but it's not impossible for me to walk into a hobby shop and not buy anything. So I'm at that. I've reached that plateau, I guess. So, um, but that Revell SR71 has definitely got my interest. I had the tester's kit years ago, and I don't think I ever finished it. I think I started it and I never finished it. I think what happened is when I was filling the gaps and stuff, I seem to remember the the gap on the chines where the fuselage pieces come together was the point where I kind of just threw my hands up. Walk out with nothing. Is that a personal dig? No, actually, it's not. I know how hard it is, but I've got enough stuff, and I'm happy enough with the stuff that I have that I don't find a need um, to really buy anything, and anymore. I got those. The last time I went to that shop, I got those AK real colors just because I wanted to try them. You have the tester's kit. Wow, I'm sure those are going to plummet in value now. Where did you pre-order the Revell kit? I haven't seen any place that you can pre-order it. Was it a good price? I think what are they saying? It's going to be $130 or something. I mean, that's a big airplane. That's a big airplane. That's a lot of plastic. Mega hobby. Okay, I have to check it out. I have to check it out. Anyway, yeah. So that's about the only thing that is on my radar. That and that P-47C, and um, the only reason that's on my radar is I would like to do an early war 109 with shipping. Oh, that's good. I would like to do the early version with the yellow surround on the national insignia. Um, so that's why I'm interested in that Dora Wings kid or whoever it is. But other than that, I'm there's really not that much that excites me. Oh, user. So it was about $130 then. Yeah. But yeah, that's that's I think that's it. I think that's the only things that I'm really that interested in is that SR71 and that P-47C. Oh, I lied. That 132nd P-40B. That is it. GWH is a Great Wall that's doing that. I don't know. Desert P-40. Yeah, I did I do one of those? I did the Desert Spitfire. I got my one P-40E. The old Pro Modeler P-40E. Um, that's a good kit, and you can get those at shows for like $5. But Yeah, that 30-second scale P40 is tempting. That's probably, honestly, out of everything that's coming out here, that's probably the most tempting thing there is for me. Um, because it's ABG, and it's just, I don't know what else to say other than it's ABG. Um, but again, I think I've got 14 or 15 P40 kids right now back there in the stash. A lot of them are the old AMT and the MOV, and I've got a couple of Airfix P40Bs, but um, yeah, the Otaki kits and whatnot. But um, there's nothing wrong with those. They're fine. Um, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, I am going to, like I said, continue on here and get rid of some stuff like this that I'm never going to finish. Um, and it's not that I don't want to finish this, but if I'm going to invest the time into doing the masks and all that kind of stuff, or spend the money on the decal sheets or whatever, I'm going to get a Hasagawa kit instead of this one. And honestly, I don't know where a bunch of the parts and stuff for this are. They're around here somewhere, but I made enough mistakes on this that I'm kind of past spending any more time and money on it. You know, and something like this isn't a total loss. When you're taking something like this and you're saying, okay, I'm done, and your time, it's not a total loss. You learn. It's a learning. Um, Yeah, that Revell P40 kit. I think that is what they based the Pro Modeler kit on, that P40E kit. Because I did that one too when I was a kid. It's a great kit. It is. Um, but I'm gonna. I know there's a lot of you out there are just really averse to throwing things away. Um, and I get it. And I get it. But when you don't throw things away, you end up with this, right? With this mess that I have. So you have to, cutting your losses on something like this is not, it's not a bad thing necessarily. I keep some paint mules around for different things, and I guess I could do that with this too. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll throw this away and I'll keep this for a paint mule now. You know what? I think I will. I think this is exactly what I'm going to do. So this one's going to go bye bye. And yeah, so you just gotta mark it up to a learning experience and move on, and that's okay. And but like I said, I get it. I get the that's not so easy for some people to do, and for various reasons. One is there's financial reasons, and for other people they just they don't throw things away. They'll fight it to the death or whatever, and I get it, but you know if you're gonna if you're going to get better at something, you have to take risks, right? And if you take risks, you inevitably screw up, and it's okay to learn from those and move on. And it doesn't mean you always have to finish every kit. You can, you know, dump it and get another one. I will say, with that, with the learning thing, I'm gonna, kind of go off on another tangent here real quick before I get off of here. But don't mistake me. Don't mistake me saying that for me saying that um, you should um, you should sharpen your teeth on old monogram kits or something, because I won't say that because it's not true. I love old monogram kits and stuff, but honestly, they're not skill builders. I mean, I guess maybe they are, but not in the sense that it. I'm not one to tell people, hey, go out and you're new to the hobby, go buy a horrible old kit so that you can learn how to use putty, because that's very frustrating. And not only is that very frustrating, but that's not where we're at anymore. We were working with what we had to work with, and what we have to work with now is a heck of a lot better. I don't know why in the world you would go out and spend $18 on the Revell G10 when you can buy this one for 25 or 30. Not that there's anything wrong with the Revell one. It's actually pretty good. But this is way better. Way better. It's a lot more parts. And maybe, you don't want that. And that's fine. But, so, yeah. So to end the year, I guess I'll say the same thing I usually say, and that's do what you want. Don't let anybody tell you how to do your hobby. Not me, not Brett G, not not anybody. Don't do what you want, man. Do what you want, and it'll all be good. It'll all be good. It's going out and getting advice and watching what other people do and copying things and stuff. It is fine. It's fine, but it's your hobby. Do it the way you want to do it. And that's the bottom line. Well, I'm going to go have me some New Year's ham and probably some potatoes and whatnot. And then we got to go, I guess we're going to some shindig. So I'm out of here. But from my bench to all you guys, everybody out there, Happy New Year. I hope 2022 is good to you. I know a lot of people have had a couple of challenging years. I'm not going to say we haven't had our challenges here, but we've been blessed to get through it, and healthy and wiser than we were when it started, and that's all you can ask for. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it, and say hi to the wife, and we will catch you guys all later. As usual, take care of the people you love. Bye.